by the way, I know the underscore Mersh account on YouTube. Don't be this guy. I have no money to spend on my Miami trip. Yes, I do. I have see, here's the beauty of it, sir. I don't spend my money when I have to go to things for work. So from the time I leave tomorrow to the time I come back the next day, I will only be using my Revenge of the Sis business card. So, no, see, the beauty is I need money for me, which is why I need Cash App until I get my new debit cards. Tomorrow and the next day, I'm going to Miami. I'm on ROTC's time. I'm on the clock. It doesn't matter. If I want to go get a nice mojito, head on out and get some Cuban food. If I want to go get my dick sucked at Tootsie's, the company will pay for that. I take that back. If I spent money on the card at Tootsie's, Royce would fucking murder me. Royce puts up with me, but there are limits. If Royce fucking saw me using the company card at Tootsie's and it was like a cash advance or like at a casino, he'd go, "What? Don't you fucking ever do that." But I've never done that. Like I know better than that. I'll wipe out my own money, gambling, whoring, being a degenerate, but like I never fuck with the company money unless I'm like allowed, you know. $5 from Mr. Bucket says, for gold ducats from I Come Buckets. Thank you, buddy. Adawolf for $5 for getting a new Ridge wallet, big dog. Merry Christmas. That's kind of what I had. I had the equivalent of a Ridge wallet. But I'm right wing. And that's the best part. To this day, he'll be like, he's a left winger, blah, blah, blah. I thought I was the alt-right dissident right Jew hater. Now I'm the fucking leftist. Like, it didn't add up. But he was like, that's a leftist talking point. I'm like, did you ever look into the facts of the case? Oh, you're just being full of shit. And that was one of those moments where you really see the grift for what it is. And you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm not. You know, it's like that scene in The Wire when Mike from The Wire, when Michael beat the shit out of Kennard for stealing the package. And then he said to fucking Naaman, when he's like, all right, man, Naaman, go get your pack off this bitch. And he's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. And then he just ran home like a bitch. That's how I felt when the grift started. I was like, I don't want it. And I know I could have made it so, like, I could have made so much money being dishonest in my life. But when I think about it too, I like to waste money. I like to gamble. I don't think we're all long for this world. I want to enjoy my life while I'm here. So I don't know what any more money would have done. It's not like I would have been fucking buying real estate and becoming a super investor, and I would have gotten sober, and I would have like started, you know what I mean, hiring a personal trainer. I would have done any of that shit. I would have kept drinking and gambling anyway. So what did I really miss out on? Money? It kind of feels good to know that, like, I'm going to die on my feet. And that feels good to me. You know? I think at the end of the day, if I wanted to summarize my legacy when I'm dead, is the most badass in Skyrim. The most bad motherfucker you've ever met in the whole game, and you meet him in the first 5 minutes and he dies. First death of Skyrim, he's the baddest motherfucker. Best quote ever, my ancestors are smiling on me, Imperial. Can yours say the same? You know what I mean? It feels good to know that. I think that if somebody took me right now and said, we're putting you in front of a stump, we're taking your head off, like, I would at least be able to hold my fucking head up and be like, yeah, fucking do it. You know what I mean? Fucking do it. And I just know, like, when you look at Rorschach, from The Watchmen. Another great character that just was like a fucking maniac, lunatic, contrarian piece of garbage, but he's the best part of The Watchmen. He literally fucking at the end, he's the best part of the ending. Dicks are yummy. Says this is some deep talk shit, kind of morbid considering the holidays. Well, it's December 17th. You got 8 days till Christmas. I can be morbid tonight. Besides, I just got my nephew just called me tonight. We just got the report on my sister. So that's been weighing on me. That's probably why I'm also talking all morbid and shit, but you know what I'm gonna find? You know what? You want to hear some wild shit about my... All right, so... Sure, the fucking maniacs will probably go run wild with this, right? But, like... I don't know. I guess I could talk a little bit about it. But, so... My sister passed away. For those of you that don't know, I had to go to the funeral a couple months back, and people don't realize, right, is that when my sister died, and most people didn't put it together, my sister died on the anniversary of... Actually, now I can't remember. I don't know if it was I think it was the anniversary of when her son died. So when I went to the funeral, there were a lot of people. A lot of people that I would call weak who were who started the whole rumor, right, that my sister was being treated for a lot of different health problems. She was notorious for having health problems. I've talked about them on the air. They had her on a shitload of fucking different, pharmaceuticals and shit, right? So somebody had started speculating, like, well, it was the anniversary of when her son died, and people, do you think she might have, And, like, there were a couple people at the funeral that were buying this bullshit, that were legitimately like, yeah, she might have been in so much pain. And I was like, no, she didn't do that shit. There's no fucking way she did that shit. Because when you look at suicide, right, there's always links to this shit, right? There's always, I don't know, I just was like, I wasn't buying it, and I was like, nah, man, I don't fucking buy it. Dickers said people fucking suck. No, to be fair, Dickers, nobody was bringing this up in a shitty way. This was family. This was just people in families that they're trying to figure out what happened. You know what I mean? People try to rationalize shit. So it wasn't anyone being shitty. It was just some people in our family going... Because when I was a kid, I used to stay up and just listen to my fucking drunk parents and my drunk aunts and uncles, like, telling stuff. Like, they would tell me to go to bed, and then I would hide up, like, next to the banister on the stairwell while they were watching, like, the Andrew Dice Clay comedy special. And I would listen to them talk, man, and I burned some of them stories in my fucking brain. So anyway, well, I'm sorry about the tangents, but you gotta go, buddy, because now you're being annoying. So anyway, that was the speculation. So I did get the report tonight that, that it was natural. My sister did not off herself, as was speculated. Wow, I had good money tonight on the fucking Thunder. That hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Tonight, that one hurt a little bit. But we're gonna be okay. We're gonna live. We're gonna survive. Aaron Imholt thinks you're oversharing.
Fuck yourself. So he goes and he pitches the idea. I want to read this so I have it right. I want to read it right from the horse's mouth here. Now, Nick says, hey, not doing drugs or not drinking for a few years is easy. You just don't do it. I don't have a problem. I don't have an addiction to alcohol. Now, I watched the guy personally for 5 months. He has a problem. He has a drinking problem. I would, in my opinion, observing his behavior, he's an alcoholic. He's addicted to it. He can think what he wants. I've had friends who are alcoholics. He behaves exactly like an alcoholic.
Oh, so I wanted to point out, this is what I was pointing out earlier when I got off on a tangent. So I was driving home Monday night and during the Vikings game, and the audience was like pushing him into, well, you got to get your good luck Bloody Mary in. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So he's like, yeah, that's true. Dude, they had Aaron scrambling on the air to get booze. By the way, that's the only people that have done that is like me and Ethan Ralph. Aaron was literally going, I don't want to drink tonight. I gotta not drink. Like, I want to be virtuous. And, alcoholism. And, you get caught in that. You can't drink every day. And I'm not going to do it. And then the whole audience was like, yeah, but I thought that every time you drank your lucky Bloody Mary when the Vikings are playing, they win. Which, by the way, has been established to be not true. He's drank Bloody Marys on Sundays and the Vikings have lost. But he's playing the game. You're an alcoholic too, Aaron. Because, and the only difference between people like me and Nick and guys like you is that you're a alcoholic. You're somebody that lets the audience go, remember, you got to have your lucky bloody. You started texting fans to bring you booze to your house. You got crazy about getting vodka. You got really into the idea of getting drunk. Guys like me and fucking Nick don't get it. We don't get excited about getting drunk. We do it because you just do it. We're just here getting drunk. But you literally did this. We can't do it. And the more your audience was like, well, remember, your lucky Bloody Mary, the Vikings won't win. If you're like, yeah, my Vikings won't win if I don't drink that Bloody Mary. You've drank Bloody Marys on Sundays and they've lost. So it's not an actual, you're doing the thing that an addict does. That's addict things that people do. See, Aaron feels bad for me because he goes, I feel bad for Mersh. She's circling the drain. The difference between me and you, Adam, is that Aaron, is that I've embraced what I am. I know what I am. See, you're an alcoholic, irresponsible adult who can't maintain his financials, but you created babies. Another grown-ass man has to... See, Aaron, I knew early on when people go, you gotta have kids. My mom used to say, you gotta have kids. Have a kid. Everybody's like, you gotta have kids. Even to this day, the trad right, you gotta have a kid. Why would I have a kid? So that I would do what Aaron did, which is to give another man the disservice of picking up the slack when I fuck it up. Like you did. I mean, the only difference would be is that I would let the kids down and whatever and buy them Weird Al tickets because it's a gift for me, but I think it's a great gift for them. All that kind of shit. By the way, big reveal. Can't wait till his daughter gets those Weird Al tickets. They can go see Weird Al in 7 months. Good job, buddy. Aaron, the difference between you and me and the difference between all these other people that go, just go circle and I knew from day one that I would be a disappointment to children. You flew into the idea of having kids knowing you'd be a disappointment to them, and you let them down. Honestly, Aaron, when you think about it, when you talk about me circling the drain, I don't have revenge porn charges. I don't have headbutting women. I don't have a 90-day sentence suspended hanging over me. No. And I don't have kids that are going to grow up to hate me. Did I really do that bad? Did I really do that bad? I don't think I did that bad. So, when you try to talk about me circling the drain and all this shit and whatever, and when you try to talk about Nick Rekieta being a degenerate piece of shit, you were a 25% partner in the polycule that led to Nick Rekieta's destruction. You're just as much of a piece of shit. In fact, you're kind of worse because you were willing to suck and fuck and taste Nick Rekieta's cum and do cocaine. You're more than willing to do that around other people's kids. You know what the difference between you and me is, Aaron? Like the many I've pointed out so far? Another difference? If I was at a house, kids were in, and people said, let's break out an 8-ball and let's start sucking and fucking, I wouldn't even be against it per se. Like I wouldn't. Like I'm not against a fuck fest happening in a house where there's kids asleep in a room where they're safe and somebody's watching them. The difference is that you claim to be like, I was the most together one, but I was still doing coke and making them SpaghettiOs. Aaron, I'm even a better non-father than you. I've had offers. Like, I've been in places where there were kids in the house and people were wilding out and shit. And I go, like, I've left scenarios like that when my biggest question is somebody watching these kids? Right? Like, I look at watching over kids the way I look at, like, driving a car or flying a plane. We can all do coke and drink and suck and fuck and lick and whatever we want to do. But is somebody flying the plane? Complete moral victory. Aaron, all this shit you talk about doing with kids in the house, I've done wild. I've done shit that's sicker than anything. You, the Rekietas, any of these other I've done some sick, wild shit in my day. But never in my life have I done some wild shit, like when kids were involved in the house it was at, where I go, what's going on with those kids though? And 9 times out of 10, the kids were not going to be in that house. And the 1 out of 10 times those kids were going to be in the house, somebody would be like, my sister's here and she's sober. She's going to just hang out. Like they'd have a trip sitter. Or she'd be like, yeah, she's sober. She's cool. She's watching the kids. She's watching us. And you're like, cool. Like that's... Like, I've never, like, you jumped into a thing where you're doing, and by the way, Aaron, another scummy thing that you always do is go, that coke never came into my house. We did it around other people's families and children, but not my family. Like, you're a good guy. Whereas I've never had kids, and I've never, like, oh, I was married, but I don't count that marriage. But, like, I've never entered into a home without being like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, if the kids around, I don't want to be... Like, I got a fucking 8-ball. I'm ready to go. If we're all gonna suck and fucking be weird, like, I got the 8-ball, let's go. But, like, who's watching the kid? Like, I've always had that concern of, like, who's watching the kids or doing something with the kids? And it's, like, dude, again, remember, I've told you about the fucking guy I used to buy weed off of in North Carolina, and he would have, like, literally beat the shit out of his girlfriend in front of me, and I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, I would tell him, like, I don't feel comfortable when that shit gets wild like that. Like, don't invite me over if shit's hostile. Like, we'll meet somewhere. I don't want to do this shit no more. Because, like, he would want to smoke blunts. He'd be like, yo, let's smoke a blunt. And he would roll a blunt in his living room, and, like, we would literally bake out his fucking double wide in North Carolina. But, like, he had a toddler. He had this mulatto toddler running around in an overstuffed diaper. Just run, and I was like, it got to a point where I was like, you know what, man? Like, cause we had a mutual friend, and it got to the point where I just asked the mutual friend, like, can you go pick up my shit too? Cause I need the weed to sell it, but like, I don't want to be in that house. Like, it just, and the fact that you were comfortable with it until you got cocked and you weren't comfortable with it is weird to me. I never felt comfortable in a house where there were kids and drugs ever. And you keep fucking demonizing fucking Rekieta like, oh, well, yeah, he's the guy that had the drugs in the house with kids. Yeah, but you were there with him, fucking his wife. You're just as gross. Sonic Geno, the good Geno, thank you for 5. Says, yo Mersh, hope you're doing well. Happy holidays. I love you, man. No, Sonic, Geno, I'm not doing well. Geno, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Kevin on you. I need you to give me money on Cash App. It's Nightwave Radio on Cash App. Geno, I lost my wallet on Spirit Airlines, or not Spirit, Southwest Airlines, and it's gone forever. So I'm done. I can't go see my family at Christmas, Geno, and I'm gonna literally myself if you don't give me If everybody doesn't give me $100 at Nightwave Radio on Cash App, I'm gonna myself. There's 679 people in here, so I'm hoping, Geno, that when it's the end of the night, I'm gonna have $67,900 on Cash App. So please, Geno, I need your money. I'm gonna die, Geno, without your money. But it has to be on Cash App. I can't get any of this other money. The fucking they stole everything. My credit cards, my fucking... I already told everybody, look, Geno, I have to go to Miami to do a show I don't even want to do. I don't have photo ID that's state issued for me to get through the districts of fucking Biden's America. All I have is this. Look at this. Look at that. You see that? So if I want to buy drinks or get cigarettes, I don't have my legally issued driver's license. I can't drive a car legally. I can't do anything legally right now. I can buy cigarettes and booze because I have a concealed carry permit. That's all I got to prove how old I am and to prove how much of a fucking killer I am. And fuck all your fucking fake wrestling fucking heroes, Geno. I got this. I keep that thing on me. That's why we keep this. There's only two things you need in the state of Florida, Geno. There's only two things you need, this and this. You're fucking done ski. Thank you, Geno, for the 5. You know, the rest of these kids haven't really donated tonight, Geno. I'm sitting here making fun of Aaron Imholt. I'm trying to pack for a stupid trip I don't even want to go on tomorrow. Go do a show. I'll go do a Luke Radowski show. That's fun. It's fun. He's a great guy, but now's not the time of the... You know what I mean? It's one of those things. You know, when I got enough going on in my life, and then, like, you know, it's the equivalent of saying, like... It's like the equivalent of, like, legally... Like, in my life right now, in real life, it's like I've been shot in my fucking thigh with a fucking 5.56 round. And somebody's tying a tourniquet on me, and I'm going through everything in life, and then Royce comes up to me and goes, Luke Radowski wants to play a half-court game. I love Luke Radowski, and I love basketball, but it's not the time or the place. Virgie said, I made $8 last night. Well, for a couple things, Virgie. For one, I'm me. Number 2, you're you. But you decided last night not to do VR chat because you're a You decided to be some kind of avant-garde and go, I'm going to play some game, some obscure 2008 game in VR. And everybody was like, I literally... Go look at the fucking clip, Virgie. At the end of my show, I went, oh, good, the Sharks are winning. God damn it! I promise you, if the San Jose Sharks beat the Winnipeg Jets tonight, I give up. I don't want to gamble anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. It's if the Sharks beat the Jets tonight, it's at this point it's so rigged. I'll go back to slots. Now I hate Geno. Now I hate fucking Virgie, and now I hate the goddamn Winnipeg Jets. And anybody who's from Winnipeg, Chris Jericho's dead to me. You stupid idiot! Fucking Kenny Omega's dead to me. They're all dead to me. Fucking Don Callis is dead to me. Kick.com, let's go. John Jolly said, honestly, like Alex Stein, I gotta talk to him because honestly, I think he could. I can't get myself anything in life, but Alex Stein could probably get me a deal with Kick easily because Stein's just a fucking lunatic. He knows how to do it. Aaron, you're getting led into some dumb shit and you're gonna look like a fucking asshole. Do you know any people? Do you know any, like, I've had a dozen people come to me and go, I got the scoop on PodAwful. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like, they'll email me and I'll email them back, like, yeah, I don't care. But they'll email back immediately their entire dossier anyway, which, by the way, big giveaway, Aaron. If you feel them out and go, I don't care, and then they just send you everything anyway, they're so desperate to get you to do what they want you to do, you dumb that anytime you just go, I don't care. Like, Aaron, you need this vengeance on Nick so bad. A Swift said, what scoop? PodAwful's a we already know that. But the point being is that, like, Aaron, there are going to be people that try to manipulate events because they need you to make another person relevant or make another person, like, they want you to add to the drama. And there are times where you just go, yeah, I don't care. This is a true story, and I've never even told this on the air, but it's very funny. Jesse got really desperate at one point and recorded like an hour-long video of him pretending to do Uber Eats. And then had somebody send it to me and go, yo, I got the scoop. Yo, PodAwful did this like privated stream, but I stole it. Like, it was all set up in that way to where it's like, oh, I got a scoop. Oh, I got a scoop. And somebody said, yo, dude. Yo, PodAwful's doing so bad he has to do fucking Uber Eats, bro. And I got the scoop. I'll give it to you. And I just went, yo, why would I care about that, though? And he's like, wouldn't you care that, like, your biggest arch enemy, like, fucking is reduced to being a fucking working man? And I'm thinking, like, A, I don't think the working man's bad, and B, he's not my arch nemesis. Like, I'm his arch nemesis, obviously. But, like, someday AI will be able to plug in all of the shows and figure out how much time one guy spent talking about one dude versus how much the other guy spent talking about the other guy, and you're gonna go, yeah, I don't care about any of this, right? And the guy was like, nah, but isn't it funny though? Like, dunk on him, dude. And I'm like, honestly, dude, like, I'm sad for anybody that spent this much time, this much of his parents' money, this much effort moving to Brooklyn on his parents' dime and being part of UCB and really dreaming of being something to, like, I don't take joy in that. Even if they don't like me, I don't take joy in that. Like, this guy that's been stalking you for years, he's reduced to living in an efficiency in Suitcase City around a bunch of sex offenders in Tampa. I'd be like, yeah, I don't take joy in that. So, I mean, best of luck with your info. But you could tell they really wanted me to be like, get on your show with it. And then eventually, like, I guess some other people that didn't like him took the bait. And they're like, this fucker. And Jesse was like, I never did Uber Eats. Haha, that's the big reveal. And I'm like, yeah, everything the guy does is fake. Like, he invented a fake dead brother. Like, the guy's gay and fake. Like, people genuinely think, okay, we got him roped in like a fish. I bet he's so angry he's gonna take this bait. And then, like, when you see the things, you go, I don't want anybody to just have to do Uber Eats. Like, I wish you would figure a show out and make enough money to just do that. Like, what do you want me to do with this? Oh, man, dude, you should fucking dunk on him. And I'm like, I don't care, man. Los Tejas goes, Mersh's arch enemy is booze. It's a battle to the death. Mersh has killed a lot of booze, but booze is due to pull one out. LOL. Yeah, it's basically it. My only enemy is myself. Nobody who hates me will ever hate me as much as I hate myself. None of the people that spend hours on Reddit compiling anything they can get me to say in public, like, will ever beat me, because I will always despise myself more than anyone. All these people, like, this is why when people that are fans come up and shake my hand and they're like excited to meet me, I'm like, I hate myself. I have more respect for the fucking people like Jesse that hate me than the people that come up and go, oh my God, you're the dude, I'm so excited to meet you. Like, I'm like, I am garbage. Like, I know it. my enemies know it. You like deal like the guys that get me deal with it. But there are some people that really start going like, you're the man. And I'm like, I'm not the man. I'm terrible. Be not like me. Also don't be like me, but also don't be like the people you perceive to be my enemies. Like we're all equally garbage. If Aaron had any sense, he'd go, you know what? I'm garbage and Nick's garbage. We're all garbage. I'll make a deal, like. And my male co-host was like, I'll trade some nudes if you're down. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I got nudes of my wife, who, by the way, she wasn't much to look at, but I probably would have preferred at that time, like just to fuck over an ex-girlfriend and see some new chick naked. Why not? And they're like, yeah, man, like, just fucking show me a couple nudes of her, and I'll show you a couple nudes like my wife, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and again, keep in mind, this is 2010. There's no revenge porn laws. That Hunter Moore Are You Up website was already, like, up and running. Like, revenge porn was actually a cool thing back then. And I just remember being like, I don't feel comfortable with that. And they pressured me hard. Like, we really would love to see what our tits look like. Oh my God, like, I'm sure she got, and they would gas me up like, oh man, I bet her tits are fucking, I bet she looks fucking good naked. And I'm like, she does look good naked, but we're not dating and we haven't been dating for months, you know? And he's like, nah, but that's what I'm saying. Fuck her, right? Blah, blah, blah. And this was back when there was no laws. Because I get tired of people like bringing up litigation like that's a thing, like, well, it's the law to not do a thing, and you go, yeah, but those were things I never did, even when it wasn't the law. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, come to a gay club in Ybor and buy cocaine, where it's almost, honestly, let's be honest, if you don't believe in drugs, whatever, but if you're a libertarian, like an ethical transaction between two adults for some illicit substances, like, I've always still been like, I'd rather meet somewhere where it's adults. We're not doing this near a university or anything. Like, let's meet near somewhere where I go, all right, we're in a gay bar. You want some cocaine? Here's some cocaine. Boom, boom, boom. It costs fucking $160 for that cocaine. Boom, bing, bong. I get my money, you get cocaine. Boom, bing, bong. Like, Aaron really, the biggest thing Aaron ever did to reveal himself was the Kayla Rekieta thing. He literally shared a nude of another man's wife to another streamer live on the air. Not because, like, whatever, who cares, but it doesn't have to do with fucking morality or law or anything. Would anyone trust a dude ever again? To do, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what fucks me up to this day. Like when Aaron shared that shit with Geno in 2024 and going, your boy didn't do too bad, did he? He dove into a thing that Geno didn't ask him for. Aaron is my moral opposite. A shitty dad. I decided to not be a dad because I knew I'd be a shitty letdown of a father. You just are a shitty letdown of a father. You and I are both going to die alone in a fucking hospice somewhere. Your family's not going to care. Your kids have a new dad. You've been replaced. Nobody cares. Like, you're the guy that just shows up. You're like an extra dad that shows up. I've seen these things in suburbia. It's sad. Like, when you show up, you're like, I'm here too. And you're like, yeah, it's great. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. You're the sperm donor. You're going to have a trans kid, Aaron. That's probably what's going to happen. You're going to end up like, you're becoming Stuttering John to the point where one of your kids is going to become trans. That's my prediction. And it's unfortunate, but it's because of your, whatever you did. But you're the kind of guy, like, that's what got me about you, Aaron. That's what made me really go like, wow, what a shitty Aaron. Like, you went out of your way to share a nude of an ex. To Geno, by the way, Geno Bisconte, who, by the way, Geno, I love you, Geno. No offense. I love you, Geno. Bisconte, I love you, buddy. But you're irrelevant and you're a shit. And Aaron went out of his way to impress an irrelevant shit who's broke. start by being like, hey, you want to see what Nick Rekieta's wife's tits look like? Allegedly. But if I gotta be a good Christian, I want everybody to get every moment that God gave them on this earth to try to be better. I'm struggling with it, dude. Like, I'm a mess, dude. Like, my life's still fucked up, and I'm gonna die fucked up. But I started off, like, really fucked up and way behind on the game of life game board, and, like, I'm doing what I can, man. And I wanna, like, my wish for everyone is to eventually find a place where they could go, like, I'm trying too, man, you know? And I do think that there's, you know, like, especially with these fucking gay people that try to bait you into all this gay internet shit. And it's like, you know, there's people out there that have, like, murdered people. And maybe they do, maybe they don't, but some would argue they deserve forgiveness, at least in the eyes of God. And you get to a point where, yeah, man, like, I'm hoping these on death row genuinely find God. Like, I'm like that it's kind of that shit I grew up with getting back into my brain, but it's kind of burrowing into my brain. But the more you think about that shit, it's like, yeah, man, I want to see motherfuckers, like, trying to make right, and try, like I thought that when I grew up, the whole point of, like, Christianity was Earth is a sinking ship. We're trying to get life jackets on, get them off the boat, get them into heaven. And it's like, so I don't do the death penalty. And when people go, like, oh, with the internet beef shit, like, oh, you want to get this guy? And I'm like, I don't, like, I'd like to genuinely see this person maybe eventually someday figure out that maybe I am guard, and that, like, maybe like it's weird. Like, I don't know, man. I'm at a disadvantage. Like, I do internet beef shit. I laugh at trauma. And you know, we all do it. But, like, I don't know, man. I guess, like, my shit comes from a different place. You see these motherfuckers that, like, genuinely are like, no, let's get into life ruination shit. Like, let's undo this guy. And I'm like, and I'm always just going, like, let's laugh at, like, wow, is this, like, the lowest low you'll hit? Or are you going to go lower? Let's take a bet on it and have some fun and gamble and joke. But, like, at the end of the day, maybe I'm fucking at a disadvantage because there are sick fucks out there that just want to see everyone on the internet they hate destroyed. I don't like Aaron. Aaron's not a good guy. But what I like to, like, to me, I want a 2-hour movie. And by the end of the movie, I want Nick Rekieta during the fucking credits while they're rolling, walking off into a park with his kids. And I want to see, in another cutscene during the credits, Aaron and his kids and his ex-wife's, all of them, and his kid, like, also playing at the park. And have, like, I don't want the suffering, is what I'm saying. Like, I like the temporary suffering because we all have to experience that, and it's funny, and we cover it. You know, I'll fuck up, I'm sure, in the next few years, and it'll be funny, and people will cover it. And as long as, you know what I mean? Like, I can promise you this, it won't be like some massive fucking, murder trial. It won't be like some fucking kid diddling thing. Like, if I get popped, it'll be for some, like, Rekieta shit. Like, it'll be like, oh, Mersh got a DUI, fucked up again, and we'll all have a laugh.
Last time I was a little uncomfortable, but it was a really funny show. So, but it was great having both of you guys on.
We're just happy you invited us back.
You guys were sitting here earlier. I was like, I can't believe we got invited back. I was like, I really like the show, and it's nice to push the limits sometimes, especially if you do it from a kind of really comedic, humorous way. And you guys definitely made a lot of people laugh last time. So it's always great to have both of you guys back.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for having us back. This is always fun. We're looking forward to it.
Mersh, who are you?
I'm Mersh. I'm one of the hosts of Revenge of the Sis. I'm a man who enjoys Jameson and sports gambling, and I hate the government, and I like guns and cats. I'm a big cat guy.
Oh, huge cat guy.
And your long lost sister is also here.